I heard it was easy and there was good overtime pay.
Welcome to Lead From Within, a podcast of one airman reflecting on his time as an aircraft maintenance officer as he gets ready to transition to the pilot community. Here, we take a hard look at what works in the maintenance career field and what areas are sorely in need of improvement. We take a critical approach on what makes a good leader and manager and provide key takeaways for those interested in improving. The views expressed are those of the host and do not reflect the official policy or position of the U.S. Air Force, Department of Defense, or the U.S. government.
What's up, team, and welcome back to Lead From Within. I'm your host, Justin Jasm Hillstrom, and today we're finishing up our mini-series about everything you need to know about the maintenance career field before you join. As promised, today's episode is reviewing a post from the Maintenance Officer Forum Facebook group about why people joined and why they stuck around. It was all started off of this one post. It said, for curiosity and motivation purposes, why did all of you become maintenance officer, and what keeps you motivated to stay? Now, there's a lot of good responses in there, and my favorite of all of them says, your reasons are way better than mine. I heard it was easy and there was good overtime pay. Yes, I wish. Obviously the guy was joking, but I wish. Now, there's 74 comments, so let's get into it. It's definitely going to take a while, so make sure you stick around. I'm just kidding. I'm not going through all of them. But I did kind of want to break it down into a couple of groups. First, talking about why people join aircraft maintenance. And really, there's three groups. There's the people that wanted to for some reason. There's people that had early exposure to maintenance, such as myself, through AMTs, Ops Air Force, family ties, something like that. And then three, there's people that didn't want to do it. So here are just a few of the reasons about having early exposure to the maintenance career field. First, my dad spent 30 years as an enlisted maintainer, so I grew up around aircraft and maintenance. I did ROTC to pay for college, and one of my ROTC professors was an 0421A, which is our AFSC, our Air Force Specialty Code. 21A is aircraft maintenance, 04 obviously being major. He was an amazing leader and someone who inspired me. I never really wanted to do anything else than maintenance, especially since it was as close to the mission that I could get without flying, and I hate flying. Same, girl, same. I had 11 years as an F-16 crew chief. I wanted to stay in the career I knew something about and see if I could make it better for those like me. It's a good one. I know some maintenance officers don't have the time or choose not to make the time. Yep, big one. But I love being on the flight line with my airmen and seeing the jets get fixed real time. My granddad and my uncle, who I was named after, were both Air Force aircraft maintainers, so it's in my blood. I love maintainers. Their work ethic, their lack of verbal filter, few other career fields will so easily tell you exactly what they see. Their courage to work revolving 12-hour shifts on the burning hot, freezing cold flight line throughout their career. And let's face it, the Air Force cannot function without maintainers. In war, we can lose certain support functions and still complete the mission at a degraded level. Not the case with maintainers. Absolutely required. Maintainers are pretty amazing people. I don't know why you wouldn't want to lead in the maintenance world, as long as you got the grit. I had enlisted after dropping out of college and went into maintenance with the intent of doing my 4 years, getting my GI Bill, and getting out. I ended up in the best shop I could have hoped for, with some enlisted leaders that heard my goals and encouraged me to apply for some commissioning routes while active duty. At the same time, I had some interactions with the captain that left me knowing I could do better in that position. See, negative interactions with maintenance career field will also have a big impact on why you choose. When I got accepted to USAFA, I made myself a promise to come back to the career field and do a better job than I had seen. Same, dude, same. I wanted to fly as well. Eyes did me in, so I told my dad, served 35 years in personnel, I wanted to be around planes. He said, no! Then he thought, fix my desires by allowing me to spend a week on the flight line at Bentwaters, England with the A-10s. I fell in love. My dad was crushed. LOL. 30 years after I went in, he asked if I had regrets. I said, not one. I had a better job than flying. Hashtag no mission without the logistician. Nice. Hashtag. I asked for maintenance because my commander at the academy was a maintenance officer. I liked your leadership style and the idea of being in the middle of the action. Shout out to Colonel Laura Goodman. Thanks, ma'am. And big point here, one of the reasons why I'm doing this series, while I'm doing YouTube in general, is representation matters. None of us want to leave the flight line, but we need to have good officers inspired young cadets to join the tribe. Being a maintenance officer was easily my first choice because A, I love maintenance and the maintainers, and B, it's where I was comfortable and I think I can make the most impact. I was also biased, being 11 years as an enlisted maintainer. I know what I was getting into and got what I wanted. And then, in response, ditto to all the above. Love maintenance, chose maintenance, do my best daily to give back. Ever since I could crawl, I wanted to be a pilot in the Air Force, and my dad was enlisted avionics, recruiting, then marketing. I got medically disqualified from flying. I looked at my job options and said, I want to work with jets, if I'm not flying them. And my dad also said it's a good career and very rewarding, so I put it down. The Air Force said, you'll be a maintenance officer. Best thing that ever happened to me, and I can't get enough of it. Best choice I made, went from enlisted aircrew, rescue helicopters, to maintenance officer and rescue maintenance, now an F-35 MXS. Most challenging, broad spectrum of responsibilities and job satisfaction. I love my job. Next for the group that didn't choose. This person said, I had no choice. In response, I was selected in a rated OTS board, disqualified for color vision, and then offered only 21 mic, which is munitions maintenance. Response, medically disqualified about 2/3 of the way through rated training, offered only 21 mic. I originally came in and headed to pilot training. Becoming Maverick was my goal in life through ROTC. Turns out I don't like flying at all. Same dude, same. After a year on casual status at Columbus and 14 flights in a T6 getting actively airsick, I called it. Yeah, don't blame me there, that's pretty rough, dude. I had to reflect on what I knew to be true about the Air Force. I realized in ROTC and my short time in active duty that I loved working with large groups of people, and I really do love being around airplanes and close to the mission. Nothing. It wasn't on my list at all. Rough. Maintenance wasn't my first choice, but it should have been. I was initially apprehensive about the career change, as well as the known personnel human resource challenges discussed in news articles over the years, retention, burnout, etc. However, my experience thus far has been great. There's always a new problem or thing to learn, and the opportunities I have to help, develop, and mentor my airmen are far beyond anything I could have done otherwise. Getting to be around airplanes is pretty cool too, but it's what I can do for my people that makes me love coming to work every day. You said, choose! Air Force regulation changed, and although I was selected as a BSC, I couldn't go. Then I was kicked out of ROTC due to medical. Then got a waiver. Boom, maintenance officer. Fate? Forfeited my pilot slot late in the game in college, and maintenance was the only AFSC open. I call it fate, LOL. Pretty similar. I mean, it was on my list, but basically the only one available. This person says, it was my fourth choice. Well, at least it was on your list. I had no choice, as I was reclassed from a missile officer after failing PRP, Personnel Readiness Program. Best thing ever, Minot to Yokota. Yeah, great move. Going from Dakota, one of the Dakotas, I think, Minot, North Dakota, South Dakota, to Tokyo, Japan. Great move. Highly recommend. This is a rough one. I applied for a rated position in ROTC, but was denied because of my major, computer engineering. At the time, the Air Force said they needed more officers utilizing that degree set. I really didn't like my degree, but wasn't able to switch it after I accepted the Express Scholarship. I was told I would be investigated for disenrollment if my majors changed. So I pushed through it. Since they turned me down for pilot, I decided that if I wasn't going to fly them, then I was going to be on the side fixing them. I really just wanted to be as close to flight line and aircraft as possible. For reasons I can't explain, the Air Force told me I couldn't go rated, but let me have 21 Alpha, even though it doesn't require a computer engineering degree. I was a little salty at first and thought about applying to go rated on active duty. But he didn't. He stuck around. I cut off the rest of the clip, sorry. Got maintenance by being colorblind. Seems like a common thread. Denied a rated position and was then put into missiles. Rough. But being colorblind means you can't do that either. Yeah, that makes sense. Good job, Air Force. Talk about dodging a bullet. This person said, so I didn't want to be a 21A. I didn't choose maintenance life. Maintenance life chose me. I was nervous at first because of the horror stories I heard while I was at the academy about how CGOs were treated and how stressful the career field would be, leading a bunch of airmen early on in the hours and weekends. What I tell you about the Air Force's perception of maintenance and why exposure to the maintenance career field is so important. So get out there. Positive vibes. However, it's been the best decision the Air Force could have made for me, and now I can't see myself working any other career field, and that's because of number 2, the reasons why we stayed in, which we'll get to. And last, these groups of people actually chose to be maintenance. Maintenance was my number one. I wanted a leadership challenge and to serve people. I was told maintenance fit that. Yeah, accurate. I wanted to be close to the mission and lead people. I was actually scared to death they were going to make me either comm or intel. Yeah, rough. I'm still ecstatic that I got my number one choice, 21A. It's a good choice. Plain and simple, I love aircraft. That's cool. I never had that drive, but I know a lot of people do. For the airmen and the thrill of being embedded in the mission up close and personal. Good one. It was my first choice, but I'd say I went in real naive and blind. I was told you get to meet a lot of different kinds of people and you get to do stuff. True. Doesn't sound very naive. Very true on both counts. Okay, yeah. Jumped the gun there. And I like people, and I did not want to be in a cubicle job. Kind of still a cubicle job, but it is what you make of it. It's not a cubicle job if you actually get out there and do some stuff. Okay, now finally into the section about why people stay. And I really like this answer because it shows that you don't necessarily have one reason why you stay, especially as you stay in longer. So maybe you're just staying in at first because of your commitment, then you're staying in because you want to see if the next assignment's good. I really like this answer because it highlights there's a lot of different reasons why people stay in, and there's not just these one or two that I'm going to show you later. So this guy also didn't choose maintenance at first, but he got in and stuck around. Maintenance was not my choice out of ROTC, so more fate than anything. At 4 years, I stayed because I had a pregnant wife and no good marketable skills for the outside. I guess it depends on your background in maintenance. You should have pretty good marketable skills. We'll get into that, but you should be getting a PMP rating, a project management professional rating. You can have all sorts of degrees, training. There's a lot of things that you can do to make yourself marketable with maintenance. So I don't necessarily agree with that, but again, I don't know his background. At 6 years, I stayed because I wanted to transfer my post 9/11 GI Bill to my son. Pretty good reason. At 10 years, I stayed because I had a chance to go work at a unit that people make moves about. So, like I said, next assignment sounds way better. Probably going to stick around. At 14, I stayed because I love being a commander and having a positive effect on people. Yeah, see, it changed. Most people, it starts with the people, but it takes you a while to get there. I understand. And then basically all other answer choices are the same. As I mentioned in my last video, link up here, it's all about the people. So here we go. Working with others in a large organization that maintenance is, and the discipline and process-driven work ethic and dedication we have in maintenance. Then finding new and better ways to channel those efforts. That is what keeps me motivated. Happiness in what I do and knowing it matters. This carries on from a previous comment. My experience thus far has been great. There's always a new problem or thing to learn, and the opportunities I have to help develop and mentor my airmen are far beyond anything I could have done otherwise. Getting to be around airplanes is pretty cool too, but it's what I can do for my peeps that makes me love coming to work every day. Preach. What keeps me in? Maintainers are truly some of the best humans I have ever met. Yup. I stay because I love the measured chaos and the people. We already mentioned this one. I had 11 years as the F-16 crew chief. I wanted to stay in the career I knew something about and see if I can make it better for those like me. I stayed because of the people. They are pretty motivating to work with. We don't always get them what they want, but they are worth trying the best for and very rewarding when you can lift even the small things from their burden. Not to mention they work hard and play hard, allowing very strenuous work to be fun in the oddest ways. But why stay? The airmen. Airmen deserve someone that cares, and I care, so I stay. Yeah. I may not be the best, but maybe I'm a better option than the other guy that doesn't care about the airmen as much. Future episode. Care. It's coming. It's a great one. I love it. I became addicted to the people, their drive, their determination, their work ethic, their selflessness. Once I learned that I could have an impact in making their lives a bit better, although sometimes small, I didn't want to go anywhere else. Maintainers are an amazing bunch of people, and it's my honor to work for them. I love the people and the challenge. I like a demanding job that pushes me out of my comfort zone. Solving people and aircraft problems is just fun, albeit stressful, as all get out. Yup. Speaking of stressful, I wasn't bald when I started. Why I stayed. I freaking love it. We got the best airmen in the Air Force, and a culture that actually has a lot of give a shit and pride instead of fake Kool-Aid drinking. Yeah, big time. The things I have learned and been taught are humbling and amazing. Yes, we all know some bad apples and some bad times, and have some rage against the machine of the system. Yeah, that's a very good description of me. But it's constant adventure and challenge, being a part of this beautiful machine called American Air Power. We see it as close as can be without strapping in the jet. Our jets and the crews that fly them are America's ace in the hole, and we are the ace in the hole for our crews and jets. So yeah, it's pretty damn awesome. It's here. The awesome, hardworking people have kept me around this long, almost 25 years now. What keeps me in? Well, I was going to separate after my first assignment because I felt so lost At my second assignment, no one was developing or mentoring me. I had no friends. I wasn't thrilled with where I lived, etc., etc. Literally, the only good thing was I enjoyed the people, enlisted officer and civilians I worked with. But then I deployed, which changed my entire perspective on a lot of things. And the 6 months worth of experience, being mortared, performing the mission, living on the flight line, actually being allowed to lead my unit without a tons of outside influence, that is what kept me in for at least another assignment. Yeah. What continues to keep me in now that my active duty service commitment is over, is the chance to develop the future force at the field level. While deployed, I took the time to develop my airmen through coaching, which allowed them to see their own potential for themselves. And watching someone's confidence in their own abilities grow is super rewarding, at least to me. I think pretty much everyone as well. At least 7 other people liked it. I didn't. I should have. Sorry. Stayed in so far for the people, the sense of importance, purpose linked to the maintenance, and I think it's helped me become a better officer. I'd like to think I wouldn't have sucked as an officer in another career field, but maintenance has definitely challenged me, and I don't think I would have gotten in another job. And a couple fun ones I just wanted to point out because I don't want to paint this rosy picture, blow smoke up your ass. Don't ask me. I'm in the DD-214 alumni, which means he's separated. Laughy face. It's not meant for everyone. There should be a warning label on the career field. Warning, this job may impact your mental health. And then one other person agreed. I say because it's like the mafia. You don't leave family. This person said, haha, this is true. I did leave, or thought I did, got out of the Air Force and spent some time as a human resources rep in a factory. The factory guys figured out I was a maintainer, and then I had Vietnam vets who had worked on F4s back in the day stopping by my office to say hi. So I joined the reserves. Can't leave, I guess. Maintenance will find you. And then last, this is a really long comment. It's from a guy I really respected, and I really like his perspective on this, so I'm going to read this out to you. Like many of my generation, my grandfather served in World War II and came from a patriotic blue-collared family. My dad was a Cincinnati cop for 35 years. I was either going to be an MLB or NFL or the military, and honestly, my family is prouder of the latter. I had low situational awareness of the real Air Force in ROTC, wasn't hard over about flying versus other AFSCs, same, but loved mechanical things, gearhead for life, helping friends, leading teams, and killing bad guys. Turns out, after 15 years, I'm fascinated about aerial combat and eternally driven to motivate our airmen to find better ways to increase combat effectiveness in order to kill more bad guys. Literally today, I briefed a mass group of deployers about why they were going down range, what strategic objectives they would achieve, and what their family sacrifice meant to our national objectives. I freaking love this business. I can't think of what else I would do differently that would bring me this level of fulfillment. It fuses all things I'm passionate about into one job. The only thing I regret is that, as an in-garrison commander, that I'm not going with them. I won't kid you, this is not an easy job, and some units are more challenging than others. Consider all reasons for sticking around or getting out. Our country and the Air Force is at a tough spot and will ask a lot of you and your unit to find ways to achieve national security strategy objectives. But if you're up to the challenge, we'll probably have a spot for you to go far. Last piece of advice, if you're interested and passionate, go all in. Our senior leaders are always looking for replacements. Alright guys, so that's it from this post. Obviously you can see people join for various reasons, but basically everyone sticks around for the same reason, for the people. I hope this can help you if you're making a decision about if you want to be maintenance or if you should be excited about maintenance or disappointed. Obviously, I think you should be excited, but know that it is going to be a difficult career choice for you. Those of you that have been around a little bit, what did I miss? Is there any other reasons why you joined or why you stick around? Anything else we should let our incoming maintenance officers know? Comment down below. If you like this content, make sure you subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, hit that like button, and continue watching, supporting the channel so I can put out more great content. As always, I'll leave you with my 6 rules of life and leadership. 1, don't suck. 2, don't be a dick. 3, do your fucking job. 4, there are no bad teams, only bad leaders. 5, establish dominance. And 6, the newest one, no amount of success can compensate for failure at home. Thanks guys, take care.
Thank you for listening to Lead From Within. The views expressed are those of the host and do not reflect the official policy or position of the U.S. Air Force, Department of Defense, or the U.S. government. Mention of any specific commercial products, process, or service by trade name, trademark, manufacturer, or otherwise does not necessarily constitute or imply its endorsement, recommendation, or favoring by the United States government. The views and opinions of the authors expressed herein do not state or reflect those of the United States government and shall not be used for advertising or product endorsement purposes. Licensing and attribution of the music played in the podcast can be found in the show's description. Mike for Kobe.